that was another big question that I got a lot.
You have to do the work first.
Sorry guys, I have to look at the mirror too.
And it's not just this glitz and glam life.
Hello guys, welcome to the channel. You know what I always say before I even start, thank you guys so much for all of the support and everything that you guys have been doing as far as engagement on my page. Sorry, I'm trying to get right here. It's been amazing. You guys are so supportive, and you guys definitely also tell me like, sis, do better on this or whatever. It's been really appreciated. Before I get started, if you guys are not subscribed, click the subscribe link below. And yeah, just do it, please. So without further ado, this has kind of been like a super intense, not intense, but a lot of you guys have been asking me these same questions over and over and over again. And I didn't really know how to like answer all of them in like a good form because so many of them are repeated. So I thought I would do a quick Q&A on just the influencer and blogger life, where to get started, you know, how do things work, all that kind of stuff. And now that I released an ebook with all of those questions answered, I thought it would be cool to do a quick general video, not really getting to like the nitty-gritty of, you know, how to operate and how things work, but just kind of generally speaking what my opinions are and what my experience has been in this world, in this industry, and kind of just how I got going. So without further ado, let's get started. Oh, and I didn't even mention, so while I'm doing that, I'm gonna do my makeup. So this is kind of like my first get ready with me, or no, I've done one before. I'm just not in the rhythm of doing them. So this is my start of like doing them more regularly so you guys can hear me rant about stuff that you probably don't even care about, but I'm just gonna do it because I need to be more open with you guys. So yeah, as I'm doing my makeup, the first question, and probably the question that I get asked the most, is where to start. Anybody who knows me knows that I will just say, just do it. Like, you will never know until you try. Google is available to all of us. And when I first started, I think the first thing that I tried to figure out was, what did I want to be known for? What did I want people to see or know that they would get from my page, from my content? And I also see a lot of influencers and bloggers who kind of are just all over the place. They'll post anything, and it's nothing wrong with having different avenues. So like, I'll do makeup videos, you know, I promote lifestyle products, I promote makeup, I do different stuff, but you have to have like a central, like, this is what I'm here for. And for me, mine is inspiration, encouragement, ministry, that type of thing. Fashion just happened because I like taking pictures, but my original intent for my blog was all written, and it was for ministry purposes, growing the kingdom, you know, and being a witness. So that is where I started. So even with any type of blog that you have and the different things that you do, I feel like it's so important to have like a central point. So with me taking this brand deal, does it correlate to my core mission or my core goal for setting this blog or making this, you know, platform in the beginning? If it doesn't, then you're gonna have to try to like reel it back in. And don't get me wrong, see, I'm like already getting distracted by talking and not like doing my makeup at the same time. Don't get me wrong, like, I have to do that a lot because I've been presented with brand deals and things like that that didn't correlate, and I've had to say no. Like, no matter the amount of money, no matter, you know, how bad I'm struggling, I have to stick to why I started. And once you lose that, it's like almost impossible to get it back. So yeah, that's the biggest thing is finding out, like, what do you want to promote? What do you want to be known for? Sorry guys, I have to look in the mirror too because I have like 6 different makeup colors on because my skin is so light in the winter, so it's like hard to blend. But yeah, so what do you want to be known for? What do you want people to always get? And what do you want them to know, like, the second they come on your page, like, who is this girl? You know what I mean? That's why I always tell people, for the people that I kind of like give advice to one-on-one, like, what's in your Instagram bio? because you only have about 10 seconds to capture somebody's attention before they scroll onto the next page. So who are you? What do you do? You know, why are you here, and why would I even want to follow you? I think is huge. And when starting, I feel like it's important to, you know, lock that down up front, because it's going to be a whirlwind of things as you get going in the blogging and influencing life that will kind of try to, you know, deter you from that original intent. So I think it's important when you start, this is where I'm at, this is where I'm always going to be, as far as my goal and intent for trying to influence anybody to do anything. Another question that I always get is, or statement is, I don't have a big following. You know what I mean? Like, nobody really pays attention, or, you know, I can't get that type of stuff because I don't have a big following. In this influencer and blogging world, like, yes, followers matter, but at the same time, if you don't have the influence of the people who you already are, you know, working with, and, you know, who already are engaged, then there's no point. You know what I mean? You could have 1,000 bajillion followers, and if none of them care about what you're talking about, then it does not matter. And brands are noticing that, which is why there are different platforms that validate how authentic your followers are. They validate how, you know, how your engagement is. Are people listening? Are they asking questions in the comments? So I think a lot of people focus so much on the number of followers, and that's not all it is. So one tip or advice that I would give you is to cater to the people that are following you, and stop worrying so much about the people that aren't. Because when you engage with the people who are, as you know, provide value to them and things like that, you're gonna grow. Like, it's gonna happen. So I think it helps. And even for me, because I had the same thing. And when I started doing that, it was like, okay, cool. Like, you know, this is my number of followers. And yes, I may have a lot of followers, but compared to the people that I look up to and look at, I don't. So I had to stop worrying about the people that weren't, and just let me cater to these people. They follow me for a reason. They follow me to get information, style tips, inspiration, whatever it is. Cater to them, and the rest will follow. They'll tell friends, they'll repost your stuff, and you won't have to ask or look like you're kind of selling yourself for followers or buying followers, which is really embarrassing, because there are so many platforms that, you know, can really validate how authentic your following is, and that will determine if you get actual brand deals or not. And that's also something that I talk about in the ebook, which are the top, like, influencer marketing platforms. So where you get paid gigs from, you know, different things like, I don't know, there are a bunch of them, but where you can get paid gigs, but before they give you any sort of paid gig, they validate your following. Make sure you don't have those bots and all those forum people, you know, commenting just random emojis or whatever. Like, they can tell. So for all of those people out there who are, you know, buying followers, I can't do both at the same time. We see you and we know. Anyways, but yeah, so just be consistent in relates to the how do you grow. Being consistent with posting quality images, not worrying. So it's so hard, because it's almost like a walking contradiction. So you care about what other people say, you care about your content being quality, but at the same time, you don't focus so much on trying to make every single post perfect, because it will slow you down. So, you know, there are apps that I also mentioned in the ebook. There are apps that, you know, can give you the most optimized time to post when your followers are online, you know, making your aesthetics right and doing all that stuff. But at the same time, none of our posts are ever going to be perfect. And we have to accept that up front, and, you know, stop caring about what other people think, but also care about what your followers think. Like, I follow, or, you know, have been watching somebody, like, for, I don't even know how long I've been watching him, but Gary Vaynerchuk, he always talks about, I don't care about what you say, but I care about what you say. And I think that that's the best way to think about your followers, because, you know, I care because I want to provide value, and I want to, you know, be good to the people that are following me. But at the same time, in terms of, like, negativity and, you know, trying to be perfect and all that, like, who freaking cares? And even back in terms of the where to start, you know, just start. You will never know until you try and test out different things. When I started being an influencer and blogger, I had no idea what I was doing, guys. Like, I literally was just watching people. I would Google how to be a blogger. what do I do, you know, if I want to be a blogger? Where to start? Like stuff like that. And I just watched people who did the same thing and started trying stuff. And I failed at a lot, even still now. Like with posting and trying to grow, like I just test stuff out to see, you know, what sticks and what doesn't. But that's also the fun of it. And another question that I had was, how do I get brands to work with me? And for me, I mean, I believe that you never know until you reach out. You never know until you try. So when I first started, after I knew my content was up to par, I think a lot of people, like, they'll send me a DM saying, how do I get brands to work with me? And I'm like, but your content sucks. Like, you don't even have, like, you're posting memes on your page. Like, you can't get a brand to work with you, you know, and your content doesn't reflect the same, similar stuff to what they have on their page. So after I knew that my content was getting better, you know, even just the attempt to be like trying, you know, I'm getting better, so let me start reaching out to brands. And I crafted a DM, which I have DM and email examples in the ebook as well. I crafted a DM and started reaching out to brands, and I was like, yeah, this is a bit of a stretch. Yeah, this brand really only works with like models and, you know, people in the industry, but what do I have to lose other than them saying no? You know what I mean? Like, that's the worst that they could do to me, so I'm gonna try. So I would stay up day and night and DM every single brand that I've ever wanted to work with, big and small. So a lot of them didn't respond. More than I would have even imagined did respond and gave me the contact to reach out for brand deals, for PR, whatever, media stuff. And that's how I started. And I would, you know, crafted an email and say, you know, I'm following up from our Instagram message. And I don't think anything's wrong with that. Like, I used to get to the blocked point. So Instagram only lets you send a certain number of DMs. And I would be blocked on Instagram every single night from reaching out to brands so much. And they like thought my page was like spamming people. But I didn't care. I was like, if I'm not at the blocked point every night, then I'm not putting in work and I'm not doing my part as far as making myself known. There are bajillions of people in this world. You really think a brand with millions of followers is gonna just see you? No, not just, you know, your tag, like there's so many people tagging them. So take the extra step and reach out and say, you know, hi, I'm blah, blah, blah. I'm an influencer blogger. I would love to work with you guys. Please give me the contact, whatever. And you'll be shocked at how many people respond. Now, were they all paid? No, I had to grow a little bit for them to get paid. But once they saw my page and saw that, she consistently posts, you know, her stuff is quality, you know, she's still working, you know, and trying, but we'll give her a chance, you know what I mean? And that's where the free product comes in. But they're still expecting something on your hand, so it's not, you know, on your side, so it's not just getting free stuff, you know? So yeah, so I totally think it's okay to reach out to brands, but I do think that when you do reach out to brands, you need to make sure that your content is up to par for what they're looking for in brand ambassadors, influencers, whatever. I think that's huge. But after it is, and if you think it is, I say take the leap and go for it and, you know, see where you land. So yeah, that was another big question that I got a lot, is how do you reach out or pitch to brands? And in the ebook, I have pitch examples, I have emails, DMs, I have, you know, pretty much how I did it. So you guys will be able to get that if you purchase the book as well. And I'm gonna keep doing videos as I get more questions. So if you guys think of questions as the video is on, drop them in the comments below and we'll chat. Another question I had pretty often was, if I have more than one business, or, you know, do more than one thing, or just have like, you know, my business and then my personal page, should I keep them all separate or, you know, merge them together? My personal opinion, and everyone else might not agree, but my personal opinion is that if they even relate like similarly, then keep them together. I know that in this business, or even just having a business, like people want to know the person behind the brand. So if it's all business, I mean, you could go either way. So like, say for instance, like you cook or something. Of course, have separate pages, because people who follow your personal life don't always want to see recipes. But if you have a clothing brand or whatever it is, even if you do keep them separate, still show the business who you are. You know what I mean? People buy into the full brand, not just, you know, the product or service. They want to know who's the owner, you know, who am I supporting, all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of, if you can keep them together, keep it all together. Because I've also noticed a lot of people who do so many different things and they have 5 different pages, and it's like, 1, bro, I'm not following all these pages. And 2, you just look all over the place because you're doing so many different things. So kind of before you even think about that, try to narrow down, what am I focusing on right now? Like, what is, top of mind, and what is going to provide the biggest return on investment or long-term success for me? And I think that that's really where you should focus. So, am I focusing on just building myself as a brand and letting people get to know me? Or am I trying to do my chef cooking, whatever the case may be? So it's really up to you, but do as much as you can to make sure that you are not like this flustered all over the place type of person who like has 12 different businesses and had like somebody who can do everything can do nothing. Like, what is it? I don't know what that's saying. Jack of all trades, master of none. Boom, got it. That. So don't be all over the place. Figure out, where you want to focus. And if it's 2 things, then it's 2 things. Everybody's story is different. Everybody's situation is different. Okay, guys, camera died. And what do I always say? You figure it out and adjust. So I had to set up my phone. That's not even open. Okay, cool. Just set up my phone until it charges a little bit. But to continue the video, it's totally up to you. Kind of just make the decision based off of what you think, but also just ensure that you're not all over the place, because then it's just like, eh. So another one of the questions that I had was, what was my greatest challenge when getting started? And without a doubt, like realizing that it's like a lot of trial and error. And it's not just this glitz and glam life. Like, the pressure of having a large audience, especially if you are somebody who uses, it as a ministry platform, like, it's not easy. It's a lot of pressure. And you feel like every piece of content that you put out there, like if it's the wrong thing or rubs somebody the wrong way, then that's blood on your hands. Like, unlike other bloggers and influencers that don't really have like a spiritual tie to their platform, I feel like it's not as difficult, because they could just post it and it's like, cool, I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? But for any influencer, and there are a lot of us who, drive, whose platform builds the kingdom and, shows people the love, grace, mercy of God, it's like, bruh, like, you really got to make sure and pray before you post certain type of content. Like, please let this go over easy. I don't want any blood on my hands. I'm trying to post what you want me to share, God, and whatever. So the biggest challenge is just keeping the momentum, because there are going to be down times. Like, there are times where like my content is like booming and people are like loving it and all that kind of stuff. And then there are times where they're like, yeah, that's not cute. Like, you gained a little weight. Like, we don't care about this no more. Like, switch up and do all this stuff. And it's kind of just keeping the momentum through it. So like, not caring and being like, this is what I'm posting because it's my page. But at the same time, knowing that they're following you for a reason, so providing them whatever that is. But that is the hardest challenge, is just keeping up with the good times and the bad times, and maneuvering and doing things at the same time. Another challenge is you don't know where money is coming from. You don't know how many campaigns you'll have this month. You don't know how many campaigns, people that'll come to you for small, promotions and things like that. So managing your money and making sure that you're straight is huge. A lot of people think that it's just like dollar bills being thrown at us, and no, that's not always the case. No matter how many followers you have, no matter how big your platform is or isn't, we all have to really account and be strategic with everything that we're doing, unless you have like long-term gigs, which is a goal of mine, to do the more extensive things, not just like the one-off, one post here and one there. But you have to manage your money and you have to prepare. So I told you guys a long time, I don't even know how to do this and talk at the same time. I told you guys a long time ago that when I left my job, I saved up a lot. And I kind of prepared because I had been doing it already. So I was doing both full time. And I had already noticed that, you don't know what's coming in. You don't know how this is going to work. So I saved up a lot because I just didn't know what was going to happen, and it did well for me. So another question to tie into another question was, how do you know when to take the leap? Or should I just stay at my job and do both? Or should I just quit my job and fully dedicate myself? Don't do it unless you're prepared. Do not do it. I mean, I took a leap, but I also was prepared. I used wisdom, which God also tells us to do. So yeah, you know, I know a lot of you are like, I'm just gonna go all in. JaLisa took the leap and look what happened and all that kind of stuff. Don't do it if he didn't tell you to do that, because it is not easy, like at all. Like, please, it is not easy, guys. So of course, you know, have faith and be optimistic and all that kind of stuff, but use wisdom at the same time. If you could not go 6 months without one campaign, kind of just shooting and posting pictures and building your brand without one campaign or anything paid coming in, then don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Just wait and put your all into your corporate job and this. It's possible. I did it. But yeah, I would wait until one, God says do it. But I would also use wisdom and, you know, realize that I'm just starting out. It may take us 6 months to a year to 2 years to 3 years. Who knows? Like, to me, I'm blown away by all the stuff that happened, you know, in the last year with me, with growth. But at the same time, from a financial aspect, I'm like, okay, God, this is cute. These followers is cute, but what are we doing here? But that's just me being transparent and honest. Like, the brand is booming, but now it's time for the finances to match up with the brand. And that takes time. So yeah, in terms of leaving your corporate job, one, make sure that, you know, it's the right thing to do. Make sure you're prepared, but also make sure God says you can go, because you could have a lot of money saved up, but if he didn't say go, you won't get near a campaign. Another question I had was, how would you start getting your name out there as far as gaining bookings for speaking engagements and being on panels? That's kind of a hard question, because the only thing I would say is, are you presenting that on your social media accounts? Like, you can't get booked for things that people don't see that you're already doing. So are you making videos on your channel, you know, of you doing inspirational like whatever you want to talk about on the panel, whatever that topic is, because I know you weren't specific about it, but are you already doing that on the platform for free for people to see what you're even capable of? You wouldn't book somebody if you didn't know what they did, who they were, or if they were even capable of doing it. So I think that that's huge, and that goes for anybody, speaking engagements, anything. You want these brand deals, you want, you know, people to come after you and, you know, whatever. Are you already presenting that for them to even see? One, that you do it. Two, that you're good at it. And three, you know, that you're worth spending money on, or spending any type of budget, or flying you out to do anything. I think that that's huge. And I feel like even with tying back to the get brands, you know, to work with you, are you working with other brands? There are times, so as an influencer and blogger, I am almost 99.9% sure that before anyone even got their paid gig, they were using products that they purchased themselves and were promoting and creating content on the stuff that they bought themselves, so that brands can see that they're even capable of producing content that's paid. And a lot of times, a lot of you guys are like, I just want, you know, I just want the free stuff. No, you have to use the stuff that you already have. Even outfits, like a lot of it, when I first started, all of my little boohoo ASOS, pretty little thing, all that stuff was stuff I purchased on my own. And I had people shoot me so that brands would see, like, oh, she knows how to put an outfit together. Oh, she can do this. You have to do the work first, and then people will start inquiring. So yeah, so I would start posting videos if I were you. I would start posting videos about around whatever topic that you want to speak on panels about, and things that you want people to book you for. Posting those videos on your channel, on your platform, and on different platforms. Boom, another tip. You guys, or for anyone, you're already an influencer or whatever it is, you need to spread out your content. It took a lot for me to start a YouTube channel, but I didn't start seeing significant growth until I did. Now, if you're not a talker, not a video person or whatever, cool, but like, don't do anything just if you know that that's not your forte. I wouldn't go play basketball, you know, somebody told me to go, you know, whatever. But if that's not your thing, don't do it. But if you can, spread your content out amongst a bunch of platforms. The more brands I talk to, the more PR companies I talk to, they want people who
are more spread out. So not just Instagram, not just Facebook, not just YouTube. They want people who are well-rounded, have a blog site, all of that. And they're like, you know, this is the budget we're willing to spend since your only gig is Instagram. But now that I have a YouTube, they're willing to spend more money because they're getting more exposure. So influencers now, current, whether how long you've been doing it, now is the time to spread out. Facebook may have not been that intriguing before, but you really might want to start doing that. YouTube, Twitter, Pinterest is huge. People are now, a lot of the marketing platforms, influencer marketing platforms, are now looking at people's Pinterest accounts as well. So yeah, spread out your content. And even if it's like you making a YouTube video and taking pieces of it for different platforms, that's fine. But just spread it out so that you're relevant on everything. So another question, and I think it's clear, guys, I'm not good at doing these talking and working videos. I don't know how to do that. I just need to do one or the other, because I don't even know what's on my face at this point, especially because my camera died. Like, what the heck? But another question I had was, for the people who already have a blog and already have, you know, a semi-okay platform, what's the best way to get your stuff promoted or to get noticed? I would say, one, upping your engagement. So doing different things, whether it's a giveaway, whether it's, you know, engaging captions. So yeah, we all love the cute quotes, but like actually talk to your followers. I think that that's huge. I noticed a huge difference when I started doing that. And I don't know where I got that tip from, just on YouTube, learning about influencer marketing and the growth and all that. But engaging captions, giveaways are also good. And I am someone who believes in buying ads. Ads are so cheap on Instagram and Facebook, and they're not always going to be this cheap. And it gets you in front of people who otherwise don't already know who you are or follow you. So, you know, ads will promote it to people who are similar to your followers so that they can see who you are and pretty much determine from there if they want to follow you or not. So I am not opposed to ads. And if you're going to do so, if you already have an okay platform, even if you don't, even if you're just starting, ads will help you with growth. And literally all you have to have, I think, is just a business account on Instagram. And from there, it helps you kind of figure out how you want to go with it from there. But yeah, that's the best way to get noticed. And also just producing content. You guys will be so shocked, as you know, try to go from posting, I don't even know, because people don't even post that much, 3 times a week to posting once a day, and you will notice such change in your content, in your page. I don't care who you are or what you're promoting or what you're posting. Out of sight, out of mind on Instagram and social media in general. And people are going to engage and participate and continue to follow and engage with what they see. So be there, be noticeable, like do stuff so that people can notice you. For lack of better words, I don't even know how to explain it. But yeah, just produce more content and people will see that you're here, you're consistent, especially with the algorithm now. Like, I'm not one that complains about the algorithm or anything like that, but at the same time, if you don't post, if you're not active, it will not let your stuff pop up on people's feeds, and that's just that. I mean, deal with it or not. It's a free app, so cry or not. But if you're not posting regularly, if you're not super active, you won't pop up on people's feeds. So you can't complain about, oh, nobody likes my stuff or blah, 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 when you post once a week. Like, we don't know you exist. That's just that. So yeah. I guess I'll just end it here because 1, I don't know what to do on my face anymore. And 2, I give up on the the makeup stuff right now. But with all of that being said, I know I just said a bunch of random stuff. If you guys would like, in the link below is the purchase to my ebook. It has everything from examples for pitching to brands, whether DM or email. It has all of the top influencer marketing sites where you can sign up and they will literally send you paid gigs. They will send you paid gigs based off your audience engagement, all that kind of stuff. Some are paid, some are for product, But it's super easy. You set up your platform and they have a list of opportunities and brands looking for influencers and bloggers to write about their stuff, to take pictures, to do videos, whatever the case may be. These are the top influencer marketing companies. I also have just some tips and apps that I use for productivity and getting organized, planning out content, some ideas for that. It's a lot in there. So with the link below, get your copy. And of course, I'm gonna keep doing videos. So if you guys have more questions that you want me to answer on here, that I do not answer, or that I didn't answer here, or that I don't answer in the book, leave them below and I will continue to keep doing videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out. Oh yeah. Now we're done. Oh, I didn't even tell you guys the products I'm using. Okay, we'll try again next time. Bye. Also didn't put anything on my lips. Peace out, peeps.